Let's talk about sitting at the piano. I'm not a pianist, but I work with a lot of people at the piano. And one of the things that influences the ability to have the freedom in their arms the way they like and the tone they want has to do with how they're sitting. If you look at the bottom of my hip bones here, I'll use my hands to reflect where they are. If I'm sitting like this, I'm sitting really right on the front of the sits bones, so I can easily move forward or back with my arms when I need to. If I was sitting off the sits bones and back on the tailbone like this, every time I use my arms, I would just get a pull and a stretch across my shoulders, and I wouldn't have much freedom for my movement. So what I'm going to do to get back on the bottom of the sits bones, which are in the front of the body, is to go back to that top joint where my head and spine come together. Because as you can see, when I'm sitting like this, I've got this little pull down here. See how my neck is pushing forward and my upper back is pushing back, and this is tucked under. So if I start here at this top joint, and I just go back to that tiny little 1/8 movement of that, 1/8 of an inch, and I just let my head float up. As my head keeps floating up, my body's just going to come with it, and it's going to buoyantly take me up over the front of my hip bones. So sitting at the piano, you want to be able to have that rocking chair movement at the bottom of your hip bones and the piano bench, so that when you go to reach anywhere, your body's very free to move how you want with it. You can move and tip and turn. We're sitting like this. It's pretty hard to get anywhere. So the first thing is how you're sitting. And again, going back to that tiny little movement of your head that really lets your body buoyantly release up. That's different than sitting up like this. You can see I look pretty stiff when I'm doing this. You can hardly see my ribs move with breathing even doing this. And this will just make my body stiff with my arms. But if instead I let that go and I go back to letting my head lead my body a little bit into length, then my movement becomes very free and fluid. Now a lot of pianists think that they need to do a lot extra with their arms. A lot of pianists think they're playing the piano with just their arms. But we don't play the piano with just our arms. We can't. We have a whole body attached to it. Our arm muscles go into our body. So when you're playing, really, it's a movement of your whole body. It's a coordination through your whole body. Your fingers go somewhere. Your wrist is free, your elbow's free, your shoulder is free, your shoulder blade is free, your collarbone is free, your ribs are free, your neck is free, your head's free to float on top of the spine, and the movement of your trunk over your legs, balanced on your sits bone, is free also to balance your body with your hands.